everybody. My name is Katie Schiffgen. I'm at 21st Yoga in Salt Lake City, Utah. This is going to be a class on breathwork and pranayama. So it will be kind of just like a pranayama 101. It will be a lot of information, and then we'll practice some different breath techniques as well. But if you're interested or been interested in learning more about breath work, what it is, why we practice it, and then just some different techniques, then this would be an awesome class for you. If you already have a breath work practice, this may not interest you, but I always think there's new things to learn. So thank you for joining me. So pranayama is a Sanskrit word. Prana, a lot of you probably know, is that vital life force energy that we talk about all the time in yoga. It's what's flowing through us, and ideally what we want to flow through us really fluidly throughout our entire bodies. So prana and then yama means expansion. So it's the expansion of life force energy. Sometimes people will translate it as the expansion of individual energy, the cosmic energy. So I kind of like that translation because for me, I feel like breath work and pranayama is what has helped connect me to kind of that bigger part of myself where I feel like I'm really connected to the universe, to universal consciousness, to the cosmic energy. So pranayama is, for me, I didn't fall in love with it until just a few years ago. I practiced yoga for years and years and years, and just did the physical practice stuff and obviously Ujjayi breath. But as far as getting into like actual just breath work practices, it didn't really click for me until a few years ago. And I don't know why. And I think that's just kind of how it goes in life, is sometimes things resonate and work for us and sometimes they don't. So the biggest thing that I can say is with breathwork stuff, consistency, just like in everything, consistency is key. So if you practice breathwork once a month or once every couple weeks, probably, like, you might feel really good after, but you're probably not going to feel a real difference in just your everyday life. If you want the benefits on an everyday basis and on just kind of an all-around basis, that you just feel better and you feel the benefits of it basically all the time, it's consistency. So I highly recommend practicing even just for 5 to 10 minutes in the morning when you wake up, or depending on what your day looks like, sometimes during a lunch break, it might be a really nice way to just kind of reset. And then also sometimes before you go to bed, it can be a great way to calm your energy. Let's see. I'm just trying to think of all the things I want to talk about. There's so much. So when we practice our physical asanas, like our physical yoga practice, obviously that's working with our body. When we practice our breath, that's connecting our mind to our body. It's kind of making it all flow as one. And I think when we practice just breath work alone, it's more, it does benefit our body, absolutely, but it's more kind of, for me at least, for my mind, it's really clearing and just resetting for the monkey mind. It gives you something to focus on. It, for me, biggest thing I can say is just a quick reset. They have done studies. There's not a lot of scientific data for breath work. I think it's hard to study in that way, but they have done studies just with people and just their own experiences. And breath work is said to help with anxiety and stress. It's said to help with insomnia, just build mental clarity, and then also obviously it will help with your physical health as well. It helps with the respiratory system. It is directly connected to our nervous system, which has an effect on our whole entire physical body. So tons of benefits that can come from practicing pranayama. Certain types of breath have very specific things that they say that they target. I think it's just whatever works for you, whatever makes sense to you, whatever feels like it resonates for you. So Another thing that you should be aware of before practicing pranayama is contraindication. So if you're pregnant, usually there are several types of breath work that you probably shouldn't practice. Breath of fire, I know, shouldn't be practiced while you're pregnant. Also, if you have high blood pressure, some types of breath work are specifically for people with high blood pressure. Did I just say high blood pressure? Yeah, if you have high blood pressure, hypertension. So just know before you practice. If you have stuff going on with your heart, if you're pregnant, if you have high blood pressure, even today, just be very aware, and I'll try to tell you if you shouldn't practice any of these types of breath. So I'll touch on more kind of information as we go through these, but let's just get started more with the techniques. So the first one we're going to practice, a lot of you are probably already very familiar with this, but I don't think it's a bad thing to refresh, is Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi breath was the first type of breath that I ever learned, because we learn it when we practice physical asana. For me, I practiced yoga for years and kind of didn't really get the breath. Like, obviously we're inhaling and exhaling when the teacher says, but it never clicked for me, that connection of breath to movement and Ujjayi breath, and how much it can make a difference in our physical practice as well. So for me, when the breath finally clicked, it was like this huge aha moment where I felt like all of a sudden I stopped kind of fighting through my physical practice, and it became like this beautiful meditative flow where I was breathing with the movement. I was finding more space inside of my body with my breath. I was present because I was present with my breath. So Ujjayi breath, honestly, for me, changed my life. And then besides using it in our physical asana practice, I think it's a great tool to have just if you ever need to calm down. The big deep breaths will help. It's supposed to be an energizing and a relaxing breath, both at the same time, which I really do think it is. It seems like it couldn't be both, but I think it is. So just those big, long, deep breaths will calm your central nervous system. Ideally, we want to exhale just a little bit longer than we inhale. So, anywho, Ujjayi breath, in and out through the nose by way of the back of your throat. So the best way I can describe it is the inhale is like you're taking a gasp, but in very, very slow motion. The exhale is like you're fogging up a window, but with your lips gently sealed. So if you even wanted to fog up a window and then just close your lips over it, you can still hear your breath as it moves through your throat. One of the things I see people do when they're trying to learn Ujjayi breath is they want to breathe all up in their neck and in their chest. You want it to come all the way down from your belly. So each time you breathe in, you want your belly to expand. Each time you exhale, you want your belly to hug in. So all the way down from here, from your diaphragm. So rather than up here, it's all the way down from here. And rather than through your nostrils, it's from your throat. And it's coming from this really deep place inside of you. Sometimes a way I describe it is, it's like right before you would start to snore. So if you went extreme, you would almost start to make a snoring noise, but it's like that moment before you get to that place of where you would start to like snore, and where it becomes almost more effortful. So play with it. See if you can get it. See if you can just start to create that sound of the breath moving in and out. Sounds like an ocean wave or like wind moving through trees. So just kind of explore it for a moment on your own. Feel your belly expand and contract. And see if you tend to tense up through your neck or your shoulders or your face, relax and soften. And then once you've kind of had a moment to explore it on your own, just let go of that breath. We'll practice it together. So find a comfortable seat. I guess I should have started by explaining that. For all of our breath practices, you want to find a comfortable seat. So I'm sitting up on top of a block. If you're at home and you want to use a pillow or a blanket, that's perfect. If you feel comfortable just sitting flat on the ground, that's perfect as well. You can sit just like I'm doing here, one ankle in front of the other. Easy pose. Or if you prefer, you can kneel, knees together, feet apart, and you can sit up on top of your block. So in all of these postures, or for all of these breath exercises, we want a nice long spine. We want to have like full use of this area. So if we're hunched over, it's not easy to get all of our muscles to engage, our organs to, this is not what we're going for. Going for a nice tall spine, shoulders back and down, soft through your shoulders, and then long through the back of your neck. You're looking for a connection to your throat lock, Jalandhara Bandha. So your chin, rather than up, you want it kind of tucked just slightly down and back. So it's almost like if there was something behind your head, and you can even put your hand behind your head, and you're pressing your head back into your hand. You have a nice long neck, nice long spine. So sitting seems really simple. Actually, a lot of things we can think about. So find your seat. Take a moment to settle in and just rest your hands either in your lap or down by your sides. Close your eyes. And start with just your normal breath, so not changing it at all whatsoever. Just noticing it. Notice, where does it move to naturally? Your chest, maybe your ribs, possibly you feel it in your belly. Most of us don't breathe all the way down to our bellies, just on a normal basis. So just feel the subtle expansion and contraction, the rise and fall. Just notice how your body feels physically, energetically, and emotionally. And let's begin with just one great big huge inhale. Fill up as big as you can. Hold in fullness. Exhale, sigh it out your mouth. Seal your lips gently and start to cultivate your Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose, gently constrict the muscles in the back of your throat. So think of using the muscles in your throat to regulate your breath, to slow it down and to smooth it out. And as you breathe, just simply watch your breath, feel your breath, and connect to it. Be present with it. You can choose to stay completely still and only focus on your breath, or if you'd like, bring in some easy, simple movement. So each time you inhale, just reach your arms up to the sky. Each time you exhale, hands to heart center. So we've got 2 minutes, Ujjayi breath, eyes closed, and just big, full, expansive inhales, long, strong exhales all the way to empty. Stay soft through your face, your neck, your shoulders. And just present with each inhale, each exhale as it is happening. And you're about halfway there. Can you let go of anticipation and just really focus on each breath? Maybe bigger inhales, longer exhales. See how much space you can create with each inhalation. And then exhale to just release and soften into that space. Each time you exhale, pull your belly button back and up towards your spine. So you feel that little bit of connection to your center, that little bit of core engagement. So yes, you are using muscles to breathe. Muscles in your chest, in between your ribs, and in your belly. Take about 3 more slow, steady, deep Ujjayi breaths. Make them your biggest breaths yet. Stay tall through your spine. Stay connected to your throat lock, so long through the back of your neck. Tiny little tuck of your chin down towards your throat. Finish the round you are on. And then just rest your hands either in your lap or down by your sides. Come back to your natural breath. So let go of your Ujjayi breath. And take just a moment to simply observe how you feel. Observe how your body feels. Feel that prana, that life force energy, just circulating through you. Feel the after effects of just a couple minutes of really deep, conscious, aware breathing. Open your eyes to a soft gaze. All right, so that was our Ujjayi breath, probably a pretty familiar type of breath for most of you, but I always find it so interesting, even just breathing like that for 2 minutes. To me, it really changes my energy. It kind of calms me, centers me, grounds me. So it's a great breath to practice either before you go to bed. Sometimes if I have something I'm nervous for, like an interview or even a class I'm teaching, I'll sit in my car and just do my Ujjayi breath for a couple of minutes. And if you're a person who loves music, sometimes I like to turn on a song that kind of helps me relax as well. So just some ideas. All right. Next breath, a lot of you may also be familiar with this one, is Kabbalah Bhakti breath, also known as skull shining breath, also known as breath of fire. That's what I usually call it. So this one is an energizing breath. It is, the intention of it is to cleanse the subtle channels of the body, the nadis, if you know what they are. I'm not going to get into that today, but basically it's just a very cleansing, rejuvenating, invigorating, energizing breath. Some of the benefits: it strengthens the respiratory system, it oxygenates the body, it energizes the body, and it clears the mind. So this is a good one to practice in the morning to kind of get you going, get you fired up. And then just trying to think. Also, this is just kind of a perk. It is a really good core workout if you do it for 2 minutes straight. If you're doing it correctly from your abdominals, you will feel it in your belly. So, breath of fire it's a strong exhale right from your gut. So the best way, well, I'll describe it in a few different ways, actually. So one way I like to describe it is like you're getting punched in the gut over and over, like, so it's like somebody's punching you, punching you, punching you. Sometimes I also describe it as it's like a dog panting. So if you were to do it with your mouth open and your tongue out, like a dog. You don't want to do it that quickly usually, and you don't want to do it with your tongue out usually, but if it's helpful to help you learn it, that's fine. So it's just strong exhale, strong exhale, strong exhale, coming right from your gut. The inhale just kind of happens on its own. You definitely don't want to hyperventilate or stress yourself out while you're doing this, which is what sometimes happens when people are learning this because they can't get it and then they just end up hyperventilating. So if that's happening to you, take a break, take a couple deep breaths, and then just explore it again, try it again. Something I do want to be very clear about, when you exhale, your belly is going in, it's not going out. So you're not pushing your belly out to exhale, you're pushing it in. And you're using your core, your abdominal muscles to push the air out, push the air out, push the air out. So it is, I don't want to say, it's not an aggressive breath, but you are using strength, you are using effort. But as you're using that strength and effort, you want to stay soft through your face, through your shoulders, through your neck. Sometimes I think when you're beginning, it's easier to breathe out of your mouth. And I even encourage people to make a sh sound. So it looks more like this. Sh, 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 sh. So if that's helpful to you, do it that way. If you can do it in and out through your nose, awesome. I'm going to do it through my mouth just to be really loud so you can hear me. And also, if that's easier for you, do it through your mouth as well. We're going to do 2 minutes straight of this breath, which might not sound like long, but it will feel like long when you're doing it. If at any time you need to take a break and just take a couple deep breaths, come back in when you're ready, then please feel free. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Let's just try it. So find your comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Soften your face. Spine long, back of your neck long, shoulders down and back. If you would like, you can bring your hands to your belly, or even one hand to your chest, one hand to your belly, or if you'd rather, just rest your hands by your sides or hands in your lap. Start by just noticing how you feel, tuning into your natural breath. And let's take one big, huge inhale, hold at the top. Big exhale, sigh it out. Big inhale. And begin. Halfway there. If you're going at a different rhythm than me, slower or faster, that's perfectly fine. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale, fill up as big as you can. Hold in fullness. Think of sealing your pelvic floor, your root lock. Hold it. Sealing all of that energy. Hold, hold, hold. Big sigh out your mouth. And slowly come back to your natural breath. Just feel the after effects. Feel the prana, the life force energy flowing freely through you. And feel that connection to your center, that strength in your center. That deepest part of yourself. See if you can approach all of these exercises with no expectations, just open. Just see how you feel. All right, open your eyes to a soft gaze. And surprise, we're going to do 3 rounds of that. So I want to just talk about real quick. They use breath of fire often in Kundalini practices, and they use it as a kriya. This next one is one of their kriyas, and I just want to be clear that breath practices aren't always easy, and they're not always pleasant. I have had more times, like a lot, when I'll be doing a breathwork practice like breath of fire and it's hard, and I will start to get really, really angry, really, really frustrated inside, and I want to quit. I'm just like, why am I doing this? This is stupid. If you can push past that, keep going. In my personal opinion, that's where the magic happens. That's where you find that flow and that rhythm, and that's where you start to really feel that connection to cosmic energy, to the universe, just to everything big and expansive, and then also just like your very, very center, what you are made of, and which is ultimately love. And so, I mean, there are different ways you can explain it, but I feel like sometimes practicing breath work is the time where I've felt most connected to myself and most connected with the universe, the world around me, and the universe at large. So if you hate it, if it's hard, you're probably doing it right. If you're getting frustrated, rather than thinking, I'm frustrated, so I'm going to quit, think, I'm frustrated. Interesting. What does that mean? If you feel places in your body where you feel like energy is kind of getting stuck, just take that in as information again. No judgment, just observation. So this next we'll do 3 2-minute sequences of breath of fire. So that was our first one. Second one, find your comfortable seat again. So if you want to sit up on something, do. If you don't want to, you don't have to. This is called the Ego Eradicator. So when you're just doing breath of fire with your arms just normal or whatever you want to do with them, that's breath of fire. This is called Ego Eradicator. So you can take that for what it's worth. It's eradicating your ego. In Kundalini, they say it increases your charisma, and it gives you more radiance. So this might be a good one to do before you go for a job interview or something, so you come off really charismatic and radiant. Sometimes the things that they say they do, I just kind of take them as a grain of salt, and I'm just like, interesting. Maybe, maybe not. And you can get your own information from your own body and what you feel. So Ego Eradicator. The only difference is the mudra that we're creating with our arms and our hands. So with your hands, you're going to curl your fingers in. So not like a fist, but just curl your fingers in, and then lift your thumbs up as high as you can so you feel like your hands are really stretching. And then arms out to the sides and up a little bit, so they're at about, I think this is like a 45-degree angle. I don't know my math. But, so just like this, sit up nice and tall. Try not to squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears. Keep them down. Think of shoulder blades hugging your spine, and then think of lowest bottom ribs, not sticking out, but drawing in. So this is your position. Find it and release it. So just a warning, your shoulders are going to get tired in this one. Your core is going to get tired. You're probably going to want to quit. See if you can keep going for 2 minutes. So start by just sitting. Easy, sitting, close your eyes. Tune in. Notice how you feel. Let's take a great big huge inhale. Hold in fullness. Exhale, side out. Find your Ego Eradicator Mudra. So lift your arms up, thumbs up. Big inhale, hold at the top. And begin. Stay sitting up nice and tall. And if you need to take a break at any time, you can come back in when you're ready. Go at your own pace if you need to. About 30 more seconds. And big inhale, reach your arms all the way up, touch your thumbs together, spread your fingers. So reach your fingers up, spread them. Hold at the top of that in-breath, seal your pelvic floor, your root lock. Hold, hold, hold. See if you can stretch taller, hold. And big exhale out your mouth, let your arms fall down by your sides. Slowly come back to your natural breath. And just take in the after effects. Notice how you feel. Feel that vital life force energy, the prana moving through you, expanding inside of you. Feel that connection to your center, that power in your center. All right, open your eyes to a soft gaze. Can you do one more round? This one's gonna be so hard. You're gonna hate me. So I'm gonna give you guys the option of doing either one of those variations that we just practiced. So either just sitting or Ego Eradicator one more time. Or this one is called stretch pose. It is terribly, terribly difficult, but you can do it. So stretch pose is, and I'll give you some modifications. Laying on your back, legs extended, about a couple feet above the ground, arms reaching forward. You want to draw your belly button down. If this is like, no way in hell this is happening, you can bring your feet down and just reach your arms up, or you can bring your hands behind your head, bend your knees. So there's lots of options. And the longer we are here, I will probably put my feet down at some point or bring my hands behind my head at some point. But you're going to be doing breath of fire in this position. So your core is already engaged. You're going to be engaging it more. So, alrighty. It's going to be rough, but we can do it, you guys. Just 2 minutes. You can do anything for 2 minutes. So, and make sure you're not arching your spine. You want to press your low back down and draw your belly button down. So get into your stretch pose. Take a big inhale, hold. Big exhale out your mouth. And big inhale to begin. Just 15 more seconds. We're only going for a minute. Five, four, three, two, one. Lie all the way down. Reach your arms overhead, legs forward. Pull yourself apart. Big inhale. Hold. Seal your pelvic floor, your root lock. Hold, hold, hold. Expand, lengthen. And then exhale. Let your arms fall down by your sides. Lie in your Shavasana, your corpse pose for just a moment. And just notice, feel, and observe. I changed it to 1 minute because I was like, this is really, really, really hard. And I haven't done that for so long. So open your eyes and come back up to a seat when you're ready. And that's just something that definitely you can take into account with your own practice. A lot of these, 2 minutes is a great time option. As you get more practiced in them, you might go for 5 minutes. If you're just starting out, maybe you go for just 30 seconds. So start where you need to start, meet yourself where you're at, and then slowly see if you can increase as time goes on. All right, we'll move on. No more breath of fire. That's my favorite though. All right, so this is a perfect one to do after breath of fire. This is called Sitali breath or Shitali breath. It is a cooling breath. So this one is great to kind of balance out that really up energy. It's good. It's cooling, it's calming. So if you get back from a run and you're really hot and you need to cool down, or if you are out playing outside and you're really hot and you need to cool down, just if you need to cool down or calm, this is a great option. So this one is the inhale. You're doing it with your tongue, like a taco tongue. So making that little circle with your tongue. Some people can't do that genetically. I don't even know if I can. I think I might be doing it. If you can't do it, then your modification is just tongue in between your lips, like this. So tongue's just like out in between your lips. If you can make that little O shape, you're gonna inhale through your tongue in that little O shape. And then you'll seal your lips at the top, retain the breath, hold the breath for a couple seconds, and then exhale out your nose. So yeah, great way to cool down if you feel overheated or overexerted, just to bring in balance. So we'll take this one only for about a minute long, maybe a little longer. I'll see how I feel. So start by just finding your comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall, lengthen your spine, lengthen your side bodies, lengthen the back of your neck, soft through your shoulders, soft through your face. Notice your natural breath, notice how you feel. Maybe you feel really energized from all that breath of fire. Let's take a great big inhale, hold in fullness. Big exhale, sigh it out. And then tongue either sticks out or make a circle, breathe in. Seal your lips, hold for 1, 2, Exhale out your mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Circle your tongue or stick it out. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Seal your lips, hold for 2. And through your nose, exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, just like that. Inhale, tongue out or circle. Hold for just a moment. Exhale out your nose. And continue on your own. Exhales a little bit longer than your inhales and retaining the breath, holding the breath at the top for a second or two. Keep your eyes closed, keep breathing. See if you can feel the breath just cooling your system down. Take 3 more rounds slowly, no anticipation, completely present with each breath. After you've taken your 3 rounds, take a big inhale and hold. Seal your pelvic floor, your root lock. Sealing that energy. Hold, hold, hold for as long as you can. Big exhale out your mouth. Take a moment, come back to your natural breath. And just observe how you feel. See if you can feel kind of the after effects, that coolness inside your mouth, maybe inside your chest. Maybe your energy has calmed down just a little bit. And then as you're ready, open your eyes. So that one, if you're ever just like outside, maybe in the desert or just in the summer, and you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to overheat, try doing some Sitali breath. So just like sipping it in through a straw, sipping it in through your tongue, and see if you can kind of use that to cool yourself down. So all I'm doing here is giving you a bunch of tools to use, and how you use them is up to you. How it affects you, that's up to you. So I'm not telling you this will do this, but try it, be open to it, see what happens. All right, next breath we're going to go over is Bhramari Breath, or also known as the humming bee breath, or the buzzing bee breath. This one reduces anxiety and stress. It is said to help with migraines and also clear the sinuses. And sometimes people say this one reduces blood pressure as well. So if you have high blood pressure, this may be a great one to practice. And then it can also help with insomnia. This one, as you will see in just a moment, we're using our voices. We're using sound. So this one for me really has helped me. It kind of helps me find my voice when I feel like I don't want to speak, when I don't feel like I'm in my power with my voice, I think this is a great meditation to practice. It will open up your throat chakra. The other thing that I like to play with in this one is different pitches. I'll just show you what we're doing first. So we're covering our ears, and we'll inhale, and then as we exhale, you're going to make a humming sound. So every time you exhale, you're humming, and you're doing it loudly. No wussy hums, just loudly from the gut. Sometimes I like to play with different pitches and just kind of play with how those pitches interact with my body and even my chakras. So like if I feel like I have something going on, let's say my heart chakra, I'll kind of play with the pitches like root. And I kind of find like, is there a place that feels really uncomfortable, or like I can't quite get to that pitch, or is there a pitch that directly I feel like it coincides with my heart, and then can I use that pitch and kind of use that to get into my heart to clear it out? So I don't know, that makes sense to me. It may or may not make sense to you. With everything, I think it's just what works for you. Leave the rest behind, as James Hardy would say. So we're gonna do this one. We'll do it for just about a minute, and then we're gonna do one more round using a different mudra with our hands. So this first time, just plug your ears. So just that little cartilage, you know how to plug your ears. You can do it with any way you want, with your thumbs. Some people like to do it with their thumbs and then hands up on their head, so you can kind of feel the vibration in your fingers on your head. But just plug your ears. That's all we're doing. We'll start. So we're not plugging our ears yet. We'll start just sitting, just like always. Sitting, eyes closed, tall through our spine, soft through the face. Just observe how you are, how your body feels. Find a connection to your regular breath, the natural flow of your breath. Next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you can, hold in fullness. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, fill up and cover your ears or plug your ears. And begin, so each exhale, hum. Next, inhale, fill up. Hold at the top, release your hands from your ears. Seal your pelvic floor. Exhale, sigh out your mouth. Take a moment to just observe. So hopefully you're all with me. I know you had your ears plugged, so hopefully you could hear me. Open your eyes. We'll do one more round of that. This time I encourage you, if you didn't last time, to play with different pitches, especially if there's like a place that feels like it's really hard to find that pitch, like if you can go really low and really high, but right in between you get lost, play with that. Also, you can play with, in one exhale, going from low, like switching the pitch just in that one same exhale. And then also, this time we'll have our fingers on our face. So feel the vibration, feel the buzzing in your face. So this is the mudra that we'll take. So thumbs on your ears, index fingers on your eyebrows, and then middle fingers on your eyelids, and then your fourth finger, your ring finger, right above your nostrils. So you're kind of keeping your nostrils from really flaring with your ring finger, and then your pinky finger is just loose. It's out. So this is one mudra. This isn't the only way you can do it. There's lots of different ways. This is one. So index fingers on your eyebrows, middle fingers on your eyelids, just to the inner corners of your eyes, and then ring finger right above your nostrils. And so you're going to be able to really feel the buzzing in your face and in your hands. So feel the vibrations. This time we'll get our mudra beforehand just because it's hard to find really quickly. So thumbs on your ears, index fingers eyebrows, middle fingers eyelids, ring finger right above the nostrils, and your pinky fingers are just hanging out. Take a moment to settle into your seat. Breathe just in whatever way feels good. Next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you can. Exhale, sigh it out. And take an inhale and begin. Next time you inhale, fill up as big as you can and reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Spread your fingers. Seal your pelvic lock. And big exhale, let your arms fall down by your sides. Take a moment to just come back to your natural breath and to observe, to feel, to notice. All right, open your eyes. Hopefully you guys are still with me. That one's hard to cue you out of just because you have your ears plugged. So that was one mudra. You can also there's one where you cover your eyes and then, let me think, eyes, nose, above your lip, below your lip, plug your ears. So there's different ways you can do it. Something to play around with too is the volume. So see if, as you practice it on your own, you can start to find more volume and more power. And that's where I feel like it kind of helps or has helped me and can help you maybe to kind of own your voice, to own your power. Those are the main breath techniques I wanted to teach today. Since we have just about 5 more minutes, let's see. Let's do, I think Naadi Shodhan is a good one, alternate nostril breathing. So this one will be a great one to just kind of balance everything out. Alternate nostril breathing, a lot of you may have done it. You're breathing in and out through each nostril, one at a time. It's a really clearing and purifying breath. It also is really good for connecting the masculine and feminine inside our body. And masculine is our right side usually, feminine is our left side. So kind of balancing the masculine and feminine, and also just balancing out our right and left brains, kind of getting all of that to work together. So the mudra we use for this one is, I believe it's called Vishnu Mudra. Your index fingers down, your middle fingers down, your thumbs up, and then it's really hard for me to do this with my hand. So thumb up, ring finger and pinky finger up, like this. I struggle with this mudra, so I usually just use a hang loose sign, and for me that's fine. So if you want to use a hang loose sign, I'll tell you that's fine for you too. You can also do where you take your index finger and middle finger to your third eye, and then use your thumb and your ring finger like so. If you have a stuffed up nose, I highly recommend you blow your nose before we start this. So Naadi Shodhan, just alternate nostril breathing. It's really simple, and I'll start by cueing you through it completely, and then I'll let you go on your own. Basically what we're doing is exhaling through one nostril, breathing in that same nostril, exhaling through the other nostril, breathing in that same nostril, exhaling through the other nostril, breathing in the same nostril. So just going back and forth from side to side. So start by finding your comfortable seat. Hopefully you've blown your nose by now if you needed to. Sit up nice and tall, close your eyes, find your breath. Feel your body. Just notice how you are. Feel the energy moving through you. Let's take a great big inhale together, hold. Big exhale, sigh it out. Find your mudra with your right hand and bring your right thumb to your right nostril. Inhale through your left nostril. Hold at the top, seal your left nostril. Exhale through your right. Stay there. Inhale through right. Hold at the top. Seal your right nostril. Exhale through left. Stay there. Inhale through left. Hold. Seal your left nostril. Exhale through right. Stay there. Inhale through right. Hold. Seal your right. Exhale through left. Take about 5 more rounds on your own. If you get confused, just breathe in through one nostril, out through the other. No big deal.
Finish the round you are on. End up exhaling through right. After you exhale through right, release your mudra, rest your arms down by your sides, your hands in your lap. Take a big inhale through both nostrils, hold. Seal your pelvic floor, your root lock, hold, hold, hold. Sip in a little more air. Exhale, sigh it out. Take a moment to just feel how you feel. Take in the after effects. Open your eyes to a soft gaze. So as you guys can see, the different types of breath really do create a different feeling, a different energy within our bodies. There are so many ways that we can work with our breath. This was like the tiniest little smidge of what's possible. One of my favorite things to do with the breath is to take one type of breath, and I'm going to do this eventually when things open back up here, but to take one type of breath and you do it for about 30 minutes. And that is, to me, when the most transformational stuff happens. So someday I hope you can join me for that in the studio. There's breath of joy that I love. There's breath of love that I love. There's so many, probably hundreds of Kundalini Kriyas, which the Ego Eradicator stretch pose, that was a Kriya. So there's so many different practices you can do just with your breath. And I think the more we practice this stuff, just the more it opens up to us within ourselves and within our life. So thank you guys so much for being open to this practice. Observe how you feel today after this breath practice. And just maybe take some of these things that you've learned today and use them in your regular life, use them in your everyday life if it will serve you. So thank you so much for practicing with me. Bring your hands to your heart center and we'll close together. So just take a moment, bow your head to your heart, and acknowledge yourself for showing up for this practice, taking time out of your day to connect with yourself on a deeper level, to be more present, more aware, just more connected. I thank you guys so much for joining me, for being open. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.